Okay, Jai Hind everyone. Again, we are meeting for lecturate session. Who is the first volunteer? I will give some time.
Jain sir?
Okay, Gauri Saab will be the first one.
Yes sir.
Okay, you can mentally prepare yourself. I will just give a little introduction why we are conducting this lecturate
Okay.
because if someone is aspiring to improve communication skills, which is the basic requirement for SSB interview, one has to
Yes sir.
really work upon communication. If you cannot communicate well, you cannot be a leader. As simple as that. So this is that key exercise through which we are doing a couple of achievements. One is improving our confidence, communication skill, general knowledge. Because every time you speak for 3 minutes, so at least it requires some efforts to organize that content, learn that content. Then only you will be able to deliver it. So this is a classic exercise where a lot of things are happening simultaneously. So let's understand its importance. You may not be realizing what is the improvement in you, but the people around you will notice. I am noticing in each one of you what is the improvement. And that is the beauty of this simple exercise. And that is why I personally feel more emphasis has to be given to these lecturates and group discussion, more and more opportunity to speak because this actually prepares you for SSB aspirations because once you go there, you need to speak, you need to communicate, and that is how through that communication you are divulging your OLQs. Okay, so Gauri Saab is first one to speak. I will ask Omkar.
Yes sir.
I
Jain
will
sir.
keep time.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Jain sir, thank you sir. Today I have got very interested topic that is a B mistake. By the easy of your
Yes.
understanding and better simulation, I shall be divided into four parts. First part, introduction. Second, what is the motive? Third, why importance are countries and advantages? And fourth, conclusion. Now let's move the first part, introduction. Be mistake. By the name, you can easily figure out that it means the Bay of Bengal initiative for multi-sectoral technical and economical cooperation. It formed in the August 1997 at Dhaka in Bangladesh, and a total 7 country comprises. If you talk about the name wise, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, uh, Thailand, and Myanmar. These all countries located at the strategical location and geographical at the Bay of Bengal region, except Nepal and Bhutan. It is a work as a bridge between the South Asian countries and the Southeast Asia countries. Now let's move the second part. What is the motive? There are many type of motive. Firstly, maintain the good peace and tranquility between the regions, and also the economical development and technical development in these regions, and also the enhance the economic sectors, and also the good communication people to people. Now let's move the third part. Why importance be mistake? Because you know that India follows the three type of important aspects. First is the first neighborhood policy. First neighborhood policy, it means India always provides to lots of faculties, lots of fund to those countries very go down and very any kind of situation in disaster and any kind of situation in the neighborhood. It is an example because in the earlier time also provided to lots of funds to Sri Lanka and also the Bangladesh. Now, second is the India follows the Act East policy. Act East policy, in this policy can be very good economical communication with the which country located in the Pacific Asia region. And other things is India wants to development in the northeast region, because when it will be uh, take the initiatives, definitely enhance the development and infrastructure in the northeast region. Now let's move the what is the advantages. There are lots of advantages because BIMSTEC overcoming the SAARC summit, because in the SAARC have a two type of hindrance, Pakistan and China. You well watched
Last
about
30
it.
seconds.
And also the if we talk about that, this time is a China influence the over the Myanmar and also the Thailand. So this is a event development by the our countries. Definitely, it will be influence over the neighbor. So this is a very important player for our countries. And during the pandemic time, also fully supported, provided to lots of vaccines, drugs, such this type of all faculties to the neighbor. So now let's move the in the last part conclusion. According to my point of view, it is a very good initiative taken by our countries. And if you
Time
talk
up.
about the security purpose, because India like the China influence over the Indian Ocean regions and other things is we have a connectivity through the northeast region, only one connectivity, which is a chicken neck. If unfortunately in the case China like that stopped this route, we have no any other route for that connectivity through the northeast region. Basically, if these regions have a good communications and good relations, then in the uh, Chitwe port, also in the Myanmar have a route by the help of the sea. So it is a very good initiative taken by the countries. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good, Gauri Saab. Well spoken, well covered. Opinion you gave, that is what is more important. You must be able to express yourself. If you see if you highlight on such topics, what is the importance, what is the background, way ahead. This is classic way of expressing on such topics. And when you express your opinions, you can give the benefits in coming years. Some example like Gauri Saab has given the example of COVID-19 phase, something which is giving your mind, your analysis, and this is how you can express. Now on this same topic, you can highlight India is a major country, combining all these small countries: Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand. All these countries are small compared to India, but collectively if you see, world's population is roughly 8 billion. But if you combine all these countries which are Bay of Bengal centered countries, the population is huge. Combined GDP is huge. Combined trade is huge. All are developing countries. China is excluded. China is actually a country which can be blamed for grabbing other countries' economy. So China is excluded from this as of now. And if you see compared to SARC or other ASEAN countries, so all these groups, here it is a technical cooperation, here is a trade related cooperation or need based cooperation. So you must understand the importance of such grouping where it helps. Now today there is an earthquake in Turkey. India has problem with Turkey. There is no doubt. Turkey has been giving statement against India, against J&K, in support of Pakistan. Still, Indians are the first one to land in Turkey and give the helping hand. This is how international strategic decisions are important. You can give such examples. Be alert. So good, Gauri sahab, good confidence and delivery is good. Pronunciations, you work upon some pronunciations and confidence level is good.
Yes,
Very nice. Who is next?
yes. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Uh,
can I?
okay, Omkar. Gauri sahab, can
Yes,
you
sir.
keep time? Okay. Ganesh.
Sir, yes, sir, I'll keep the time.
Okay.
Can I start, Ganesh?
Yeah, you can start.
So, good evening, friends. Today's my lecture topic is earthquake in Turkey and Syria. The earthquake is a natural disaster. It occurs when some tricky movement under the earth's surface, causing the vibration. There is the seismic waves, also the movement of seismic waves that inside the earth will causes the movement on the surface of the earth. Due to we can feel the ground shaking movement and our feet is also shaking. This can causes the building, trees and structures break and fall. The strength or intensity of an earthquake is called the magnitude and it's measured in Richter scale. The earthquake of 6 or 7 magnitude are very strong and it causes the massive destruction of life and property. Recently, in the In the Turkey and Syria, the 7.8 magnitude of earthquake is happened that causes the more than 7,000 people are died and lots of destruction is there. But in both the countries, the Turkey president Recep announced a state emergency in the country. The most of the regions are hit by the earthquake, adding more than the president of the Turkey is 53,000 searching and rescue workers are sent in the earthquake zone, and also the 5,000 healthcare workers are dispatched to the southern area of the Turkey. The dozens of countries have offered to help in the rescue operation. The UN Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs dispatched its disaster management team to the Turkey. The European Union also sent the 27 rescue medical teams to the Turkey. Los Angeles, South Korea also dispatched the team of their individual country to rescue the uh, rescue the
Last 30
uh,
seconds.
rescue the rescue operation in Turkey and Syria. The rescue worker from India's National Disaster Response Force departed Tuesday morning. It said the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, had on Monday offered all possible assistance to cooperate with the Turkey. India has sent four C-17 planes loaded to relief material, equipment, and personal weight over 1,008 tons to the Turkey. All
Time, sir.
countries give moral support to the Turkey and Syria. Also provide help their essential help in their difficult time. Thank you.
Okay, Omkar. Good. Only thing I would have named this topic as India a reliable friend instead of making it simple heading like earthquake in Turkey and Syria. Isn't it, Omkar?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
India a
That's
reliable friend from that perspective we can discuss because these points we can utilize in any way in some group discussion or India in international strategic relations, how India is becoming little more relevant in international affairs. During
yes,
COVID, you see, we proved that we are a reliable friend for many countries. African countries are taking our name with a lot of respect because during COVID, we have gone, reached out, distributed some medicines. Then came Russia-Ukraine war. Again, people were looking up to us. What Indians are taking stand. This is that importance we are gaining. And now, who else understands the ramifications of such natural disaster? We had Bhuj, we had Latur, or the Kilari earthquake. So these examples you can quote in such scenarios. Then Pakistan in recent times had faced a big earthquake, and we always reach out. Nepal had uh, experienced it. We always reach out and help. So from that angle, we could have rephrased this topic. It is very interesting because see, world is funny today. Everyday dynamics are changing. A lot of politics is happening in international world. So wherever there is an opportunity to help another country, whether it was Sri Lankan economic crisis, whether it is Afghanistan crisis, which is the Taliban ruled country in a something in a funny way, stone aged kind of rules and Sharia law. So we are extending our help. Even if you just see the day budget was announced, Afghanistan, we have catered some fund for them. Afghanistan's Taliban government gave a very favorable statement that Indian are our friend, we are looking up to assistance and all those things. So this is we need to understand how India is becoming more relevant day by day in the international politics. So this is that opportunity where there is a problem in one of the country in one of the part of the world and a responsible nation whether we are reaching out or not. See, it is not matter of how much you can help. The willingness to help, concern, the sensitivity, these things matter. Whether it is at local level, between person to person, or whether it is between nations to nations, same thing is applicable. Okay, good. Omkar has brought out relevant and current topic. Confidence is okay, Omkar. Your flow is coming up. More energy you can pump in while you speak. Feel about it, whether you are really energetic or not, and things will be more in order. Okay, good.
Yes, sir,
Who is
yes.
now ready?
Thank you.
Ganesh, Gayatri,
Sir,
Sanjeevani.
I'm
Okay, Sanjeevani. Omkar, keep time.
Okay, Sanjivani, you can start.
okay. Good evening to all. Today, my lecture topic is dowry system. The dowry system is followed in India for a very long time. Our ancestors start this system for a valid reason, but now it is leading to issue and problems in society. The India behind the dowry system was to make sure the bride will be a financially stable after getting married. The intention were very clear. Bride parents used to give money, land, asset to the bride as a gift to make sure their daughter will be happy and independent after marriage. But our society is facing many problems. One of the dangerous problem is the dowry system. It will practice on society. The system is there in in Indian society for a very long time. Now, parents of the bridegroom were looking at the bride as a source of income, but some selfish people rising when slogan that men are superior to women. The worth 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 serve some the worst suffer from this system are the poor. The heavy demand for the dowry make the poor family unable to find the suitable match. The result in these young girls because a headache for her parents. It is very clear that dowry is creating violence. Grown parents are misuse this poor tradition and not aware that they are misuse it because they are not educated able to traditional dowry system. Dowry system is completely injustice to women and does not give equal status in society. So this is there is a Indian society for a very long time. Many great reference have gained very little or practical success to remove this social evil from the society. From the society legislative measure have also been taken by the state and central government. But this is a prestige and our prestige in our society. This growing social evil of
Last
dowry
30 seconds.
the alternation of government. It started a fight against dowry. Anti-dowry Act come in 1961. Punjab and Bihar were the first fight against the this demand dowry. There is a big challenge to the youth of the country. They should struggle against this social evil and be aware of the people of society. So, lastly, I want to
Time up.
conclude that the dowry system is good unless and until it is considered as a gift given to the bride by her parents. But if the grown parents are demanding money to get married as a dowry, then that is a completely wrong and illegal. The government should also bring legislation to abolish this practical of the dowry system. Thank you.
Okay, Sanjeevani. Very age-old topic, relevant topic still today because it's a social problem. Though it is getting eradicated at its own pace, this is the beauty of society and social issues. No matter how much rules, regulations you impose, things will change at its own pace. Yes, education, little bit more awareness campaign, all those things are helping. But more important is education, gender equality. The boys and girls both started adopting to the job. So when the girl is also getting employed and she is about to get married, what kind of dowry can be demanded? This is how things are changing. More and more educated people are now resorting to acceptance of equality, no demand. Of course, parents love their kids, so daughter will keep getting some kind of voluntary contribution or gift, something, but it should not be demanded. That should be the essence of this topic because this is a curse in society. This is a stigma. A lot of deaths happen because of dowry demand, compulsions, forceful, some kind of beating, and thereafter even the um, girl's parents commit suicide or girl commits suicide or girl getting killed. All those things happen related to this particular problem. And can you really label it to only educational criteria? No. The maturity has nothing to do with education because there are enough cases where highly educated doctors are demanding dowry. So even that is important to understand, that demanding a dowry has got some mindset, that parasite mindset or some kind of privileges, not accepting the gender equality or not understanding the essence of life. All those things are important. A family who might have married their own daughter to some other family, and thereafter when they are marrying their own son, starts taking revenge. This also is a problematic thing. So all those things combining, in general we can say dowry system is bad. Law is enacted in long back in 1961, but it is people's maturity or some kind of movement at youth level which will solve this problem. There are enough youth who declare that I don't want any dowry. They force their parents to keep quiet. We will have a simple marriage. We will respect each other's dignity and equality. And this is how marriages do happen. But there are few. Number is increasing. Let's hope slowly this problem gets removed from our society. Okay. Sanjivani, more confidence required, little bit pace has to be in a rhythm. You have to organize content in a systematic way. That rhythm was missing today. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who is next?
Sir, I'll go next.
Gayatri. Okay. Sanjivani, keep time.
Yes, sir. Just a second, Gayatri.
Yeah.
Yes, you can start.
The topic for my today's lecturate is terrorism. So, when we refer to terrorism, it is the intentional creation of violence to achieve an ideological, political, or maybe a religious aim. When we look back at the history of terrorism, so the roots of terrorism they date back to the 1980s when the Soviet Afghan war was going on. At that time, the Mujahideen they started engaging in jihad, and all this was the part of the proxy war fought by the US to fulfill its own Cold War interests at that time. And the Mujahideen, it was backed by China, Pakistan, and even the Gulf. So, unknowingly or knowingly, the US had sown the seeds of the terrorist activities against Russia, but it had actually failed to curb the growing tentacles of terrorism. And then later on, the terrorist groups they came together and then they organized themselves under the names like Taliban, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Al Qaeda, or Jaish Mohammed. And with the attack of 9/11 on the World Trade Center, the US World Trade Center in the US, these groups terrified the entire world. Now, when we talk about terrorism in India, so according to the Global Terrorism Index, India is 12th most affected country by terrorism. India also comes into the Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle. These two areas are famous for the opium trade as well as the illegal trading and trafficking activities as well. And India provides a route between these areas, and the terrorists take advantage of it. The Parliament attack of 2001, or the plane hijack in Kandahar, the Mumbai attack, or the Pulwama attack, these are the examples of the terrorist attack that India has faced. India has been facing a problem of the cross border terrorism, and the reasons for the same could be the undemarcated boundaries that India has, the hilly terrain, or the little to no support from the neighboring countries in the border management. Also, the terrorist group they have a very strong linkage with the organized crime and terror groups like the money laundering, narco terrorism, or be it the arms trade. These all form a basis for the finances that these terrorist organizations receive for carrying out their activities. Also, they receive a huge amount of donations from their followers, or they can have financial help by oil black marketing as well. And these money that come in, that is used for carrying out the activities, the
Last
terrorism
30
activities
seconds.
and fundings. Now, when we talk about the measures that can be carried out to curb the problem of terrorism, so one would be that we should bring on more acts like UAPA, and also there should be a stringent implementation of these acts. And there should be more and more global cooperation, and also more global sanctions like the FATF and UN sanctions should be put on the countries that are involved into such activities.
Time up.
Also, the countries should that are involved in terrorism, they should be pressurized on the global level, and the banks, they should stay alert on the suspicious activities and transactions that have been going on. Also, intelligence sharing would be uh, among the organizations that would also contribute towards curbing the problem of terrorism. In the end, I would like to conclude that India has been dealing the problem of terrorism on the diplomatic as well as the military front very well. But as we move forward, we should be more aware of other forms of terrorism like the bioterrorism or the cyber terrorism. And as a country, we should be prepared to fight those as well. Thank you.
Okay, Gayatri, given a classic lecturate, well researched content and organized it well, except the time management part, little bit overshooting. No issue. Good, content wise, good. Terrorism, in the end, conclusion was good. So we need to understand that India suffered the most. India had been harping, crying, literally begging to the world until 2001 9/11 happened and America realized what India is crying about or begging. So terrorism is a problem for whole world. It is not an issue confined to any one country. So if it grows in one country, it will create problem for whole world. So no one should support it. Of late now countries are agreeing on this, but more cooperation, what Gayatri was highlighting in the end, more cooperation is required, more intelligence sharing is required. All those wanted terrorists, everyone should acknowledge. For example, Masood Azhar, still China is defending. This is the problem. Today, China may be doing it for short term gains because their CPEC and their One Belt, One Road initiative and Chinese some infrastructure developments are at stake. But in the longer run, it will hit back and it is hitting back. There are some minor issues already started in China. So these all terrorist groups, because you see what Gayatri has already highlighted, the origin or the support which started from America, it has fired back within 20 years. They started helping these groups and it fired back. During the Russian war, Russia-Afghanistan war, America created a lot of infrastructure because this is subconventional warfare. You must understand this term. When you don't fight enemy in front, you do some sort of these activities which is called subconventional warfare. A small country will always do this, like Pakistan don't fight in open because they know they will not stand. So this is the easy means, spreading some illegal things, trades, and this pushing terrorists, helping these all disgruntled elements to push in and fight some kind of ideology based war. So this is a problem for whole world. You see today Pakistan was supporting, when I say Pakistan, some of the groups in Pakistan, whether it is ISI or Pakistan Army, at times some part of element in government supporting Taliban or the nexus of terrorist links. And now you see Western front of Pakistan is burning. Every day attack is there. In fact, Balochistan is burning. Every day there are some attacks. So it will always backfire. So terrorism has proved time and again, no matter who is your friend, but ultimately terrorists are enemy for everyone. So well covered. I think Gayatri has just summed it up well. Only thing time management, Gayatri, just do it well. Okay. Who is
Yes,
next?
sir.
Sir, I'll go next.
Okay, Ganesh. Then we'll go to Nikita. She has taken a card. Okay, Gayatri, keep time.
Yes, sir. You can start.
Okay. So the topic for my today's lecture is India and United Nations. So United Nations is an international governmental organization and which was formed in 1945 and it has been called as the successor of League of Nations. League of Nations was unable to prevent the devastating World War II. So thereafter, the United Nations was formed with the objective of international peace, security, protecting human rights, humanitarian aid, sustainable development, and holding the international law and peace. Now, basically, the five principal organs of United Nations are General Assembly, the United Nations Security Council, Secretariat, Economic and Social Council, and International Court of Justice. Now, I'll talk about the contribution of India in UN. So, the most important contribution India has done in UN is during the Cold War in 47 to till 90. When the presidency of UNSC was in the hand of India in 50 and 51, India has adopted a successful resolution in Korean War. India has helped in UN missions in Cyprus. India has given the strong support for Africa and independence of Namibia. India has always shown support for Lebanon and Palestine. During the economic reforms in 90 and 92, India has stood against the indefinite extension of non-proliferation treaty. And since 2000, as we know, India has been a strong voice for peacekeeping, counterterrorism, international peace, and a voice for global South, whether Africa or South America. Now, in the current context, in the current era, India has given much contribution in United States. As the United States Counter-Terrorism Committee had a meet in Delhi, which was declared as Delhi Declaration on drones, social media, crypto, crowdfunding to counter basically the tech terrorism or digital terrorism. India has been a voice or has been a country which is in a top state to raise voice against terrorism. Now we can see through examples as recently India has sent the largest women contingent to Abyei, in the border of South Sudan and Sudan, for the UN peacekeeping forces. Earlier also, Indian defense personnel have worked in the Sahel region, in the West Africa, in Burkina Faso or Nigeria, or in the east part, the South Sudan and Sudan. So India has been raising the voice against counter-terrorism in the United Nations. In the statistics, I would like to tell you that the first woman president of UNGA was also from India, Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. And in current context, KP Ashwini sir has been elected as the first ever Indian nation to be appointed as expert on racism by UN. So India, the UN is also seeing the
Last 30
contributions of
seconds.
India in UN. At last, I would like to tell some reforms which are needed in UN, and I'm of the view that the first reform which is needed in UN is facing a crash crunch, and there should be increase in funding to go towards the robust part of achieving the sustainable development goals which are being set up by the UN. Secondly, the rotating seats of UNSC nowadays does not restore the regional balance. As Asia is the world's most popular and dynamic continent, and it has been given only two seats in the UNSC. And thirdly, the
Time
most
up.
important thing is UN's government should be mended, mainly the United Nations Security Council, which no longer balances the geopolitical power, or we can say it is an endless loop now between East and West. Because now I think I am of the view that United Nations is the only organization in the world now which can balance the geopolitical power and can keep the international peace. So these three reforms are much needed now for the United Nations. Thank you.
Okay, good, Ganesh. Very nicely covered. The topic is well researched and points were good, quality points. UN has got a role. One point which Ganesh has highlighted, only two seats for Asia. Time has come that India should get permanent membership. If you see today, world is becoming multipolar. As long as if it is only US and Russia who were fighting, today more and more countries are challenging the supremacy of other countries. India is coming up. Russia, US, China, the North Korea is a problem for world. Then in Middle East, some of the countries are in problem. And the emerging economies, whether it is Brazil or Indonesia or India, these economies are rapidly developing and will definitely will have their say. So once if it is a multipolar or the many powerful countries coming up, we need a strong organization at the international level, which Ganesh was trying to highlight. Their say, their power has to be raised and it has to be built on consensus. Today, China is trying to manipulate. There were allegations for WHO also. So, UN cash crunch, yes, it should be powerful, and cash is one of the most important factor. So, it is to be funded well. Secondly, its acceptance by a whole world has to be without question. Any regulations, rules, or some kind of instructions, it has to be well followed. But today, it is not up to the mark. A lot of countries are overriding or just not accepting few things, and there is some kind of reluctance to accept. After the First and Second World War, we realized that there has to be somebody which can control this entire world. Because you see, in a family also, if there are five members, at times two members are fighting. If it is a big family, many members are raising their voice. Here it is a world with so much of diversity, including religion or some kind of economics related problems or historical heritage, then border disputes. So many issues are there, and we need something at international level, because as long as US was powerful, it was dictating its own terms. But when it comes to three, four, five people or five countries coming up and fighting with each other, we need some central organization which can actually control the things. So from that perspective, probably we need a stronger organization, something like UN. It has to again build up its reputation, should get more power, should have all the infrastructure and wherewithal to continue as a strong organization. India's contribution, yes, what Ganesh has highlighted, it has always been positive. Our peacekeeping forces always at beck and call, readily available. Our troops are still serving. Women contingent has gone, which he has highlighted. So we are always a very, very contributing, positively contributing member in the UN related activities. Good, Ganesh, very nice. Now coming to what Gayatri and Ganesh gave the lecturers, see the key is if you practice for couple of months, you will have some database. Utilize that database in a organized way. Some points will fit into many topics. So you should have that art of fitting those topics using some current development and putting into that particular topic. Develop this art. It will come up. With practice, it will come up. Okay, now Nikita. Ganesh, keep time.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, you can start, Nikita.
Good evening, everyone. The topic which I have selected for my lecturate is tourism in India. Tourism in India contributes to the Indian GDP to the 5% extent. It is the fifth largest sector which contributes to the GDP. It is important because, first of all, it generates the employment to the people. Second, it builds the nation's image in the outside world. And third, it gives a mental pleasure to the people. Basically, it maintains one's mental balance. Then talking about its current status, then after pandemic, we noticed that during pandemic the tourism was completely stopped, but after pandemic it started gearing up. Now we'll discuss what kind of problem actually tourism sector is facing and what could be the solutions to it. First is these after, as I said, after pandemic now it is gearing up. So actually what we can do is we can use G20 platform to its the utmost potential, as there will be almost 55 meetings in 1 year. We can actually take every meeting in every tourist spot. Just for example, recently on the in few days one meeting will be conducted in Aurangabad district in Ajanta Ellora in Ajanta Ellora uh, at Ajanta Ellora place. So this is the a tourist spot which is included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So because of this, on the world platform, multiple cities, multiple tourist spot will be promoted. So this will definitely help. In this way, we can actually pace up with the tourism sector. Second is large part of the India is still untapped. talking about, let's take example of Northeast. Northeast is a part which is still untapped, and this part has a lot to serve. So what we can do is we can actually uh, we can actually form a ministry of tourism in our parliament. Definitely this will take a lot of time, or if taken by or if taken seriously by the government, then definitely it could happen within a few months or an year. But we can actually give a separate status to the tourism, and tourism ministry can be formed so that Northeast unanimously formed their tourism representative, and he can promote it in the parliament, and through parliament a lot of people will get to know about the actual potential of the Northeast. So in this way we can explore the untapped part. Then talking about the infrastructure related problem, then there are a lot of tourist places which are still uh, haven't got that much of means proper connectivity. So road or railways or by for or the airports can be built at those places. Again, if I take the example of Northeast, then Northeast till Sikkim only there is a air connectivity. After that, one has to travel via road or by road only. There are again no railways because of their mountainous region. So, so one we can actually think about it by developing that kind of infrastructure over there, so that a lot of tourism sector can be tapped in that sector. Then talking about the safety issue. Recently, we got to know about the South Korean tourist, which was she got harassed in the Mumbai, but Mumbai police immediately took a action against those culprits. But I think for tourists, we can always look for the tourist police, and tourist police is will be someone uh, which we can actually a lot from the local people only. Small exam will be taken from according to that exam. People can qualify for the post, and anytime they have to uh, means that responsibility will be given to them, that they have to safeguard the place and they have to build the image of their place. So they will be always in a competitive mode, and this will actually bring the best out of that place. So, lastly, I just want to say that as a citizen, we do have some responsibility. We have to promote our nation on the international level. So, I think wherever we go as a tourist, we can anytime use the platforms like social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. We can anytime click pictures with the famous point of that particular tourist place and just simply put it as a status with the location, so that a lot of people will get to know about those places. Lastly, I just want to say that tourism is a soft power, and it can be tapped. If it is tapped potentially, then definitely it can drives the economy. Thank you.
Okay, good, Nikita. Good topic. And given the fact that you picked up a card and spontaneous talking from that angle, it was good. Tourism, Nikita has used a word, it is a soft power. Yes, it is a soft power. When the Ukraine war break out, and you see Indian students stuck, and we also discovered that few thousand students are studying medical there or different courses. So education tourism, see the impact. Religious tourism, sports tourism, agri tourism, the historical sites, heritage tourism, and whatnot. You can really be creative in this sector, and you can be a soft power. You see, Europe has got good amount of GDP revolving around tourism. When the COVID came, tourism dependent countries, especially Sri Lanka or Europe, also got hit. India is, in fact, nowhere started for tourism. It is just natural happenings. People come to Agra, or people come to Kashmir, or people go to Kerala. But we are not projected as a tourism business. And it is a soft power. It has to be understood in many dimensions. If we have enough Atmanirbhar sense, and we have educational institutes, we have sports academies, we have uh, great agriculture techniques and farms, we have some developments in around lakes, rivers, like Varanasi. It is becoming a destination now. Maybe the Ayodhya will become next destination from the religious tourism point of view. The way you see, I remember when I went to Shirdi in year 97, 98, it was nothing. Today it is a great religious tourism spot. You see Tirupati, you see Vaishno Devi, you see Golden Temple. Same will be now Ayodhya, which was a disputed place, and that's why tourism was not a thing to happen. But now it will become a hot destination. I remember when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was Prime Minister and he took a break and went to Kerala. Till then, probably, yes, Ganesh is right. Buddhist circuit. Yes, all those theme-based one can announce, propagate, can be diplomatic over it. So Vajpayee had gone to Kerala, took a break, and Kerala suddenly became good tourist spot. Sikkim, Sikkim has developed as a good tourist spot. Earlier, if you see till 70s or 80s, it was only Shimla, it was only Srinagar and Valley, Gulmarg, Pahalgam, but there was nothing as such tourism related. But now states, Gujarat has started running campaigns, Rajasthan runs campaigns, Sikkim, Kerala, all these are hot destinations. A lot of turnover is there, a lot of employment is there. You see in Valley, terrorism has been happening, but the tourism, even terrorist doesn't want to get hampered. So tourist is not attacked, and the local people are not getting against the terrorist, because if tourists are targeted, nobody will come and the roji roti of local people will be in danger. So this is the importance of this sector. The way we say that agriculture is very important for us, we are a big nation, but we have got such a beautiful diversity of tourism related possibility. We have diverse terrain, we have so many historical things, we have so many things to develop actually. Now Pakistan is not able to host cricket event. The sports tourism is hit because multi-million billion dollar turnover happens. See the IPL turnover. How much tourism happens actually because of IPL? So many people move from here and there. Players come from outside. So many people book hotels, taxis. Then once one go to the cities, look around for places. All those things. So soft power. What Nikita has used the word correct. You develop these sectors, such countries nobody targets, such countries everyone wants to become friendly, and a lot of international linkages happen because of these measures. So tourism probably has to be seen from a very very wider macro level spectrum point of view. Okay, good, Nikita. But beginning was good, then flow was little getting slow. So try and feel maybe that time factor, you realize that whether I'm being monitored or not, so time is over or what. So maybe that was playing, but you just maintain the minute, this tempo. Okay, Nikita.
Yes, sir. Sir, did I cross the time limit?
Maybe I think 30 seconds or so. Ganesh has acknowledged that he was it is a compliment kind of thing, he
Yes,
was
sir.
busy listening you.
1 minute, sir.
Mhm.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so you also got confused whether I have not heard or what time warning. It's okay, but important topic. Okay, who is there? Who wants to speak now?
So Jay is there.
Okay, Jay. Nikita, keep time. Jay, little louder. I could hear you very mild voice. Little louder. Okay.
Jay, you can start.
Good evening to one and all. Today's my lecture is talking about traveling. Traveling is
Jay, not audible.
aeroplanes, ships, or other means with our luggage or without luggage, and can be your own way or own route trip. Traveling can also include relative short stays between successive movements and the cases of tourism purposes of the traveling in regions for the including of recreations, holidays, rejuvenations, and vocating and the research of traveling, gathering informations, visiting people like the religions, pilgrims for the enjoyment, and traveling helps to pleasure, relaxations, adventures, avoiding stress, and forming memories in intercultures and interculture communications and etc. Traveling in the Middle Ages afford the hardships and the challenges, however, the what's important to economic and to the societies. Tours are the common types of travel and traveling may be in local regions, national domestics and international. In some other in some other countries, non-local internal traveling may be required and as a passport and visa systems. Traveling by waterways often provide more comfort view or more beautiful natures from the by waterways, and the origin of the world travel is mostly like lost to the history of the natures and the historical places. It is originated from the older French old in French system. In India there is many places from traveling as like tours, temples, museums, etc. and etc. We can travel we can travel we can travel, then we can get historical information, historical places, their photographs, and we and get other many information as like who was the kingdom of that who was the king of that kingdom, and how
Last
they
30 seconds.
and how they did the kingdom of that place, etc. And lastly, I conclude that the traveling is more important because of we get information about that culture and general knowledge of that place.
Jay, what was the heading? Traveling related. What was the exact heading?
So traveling,
Only traveling was the heading
yes, sir.
because initially I could not hear you. Okay, confidence. I think some more confidence need to be there. You are still building up or learning, but don't feel that you can't speak. You can speak much better, and that is the hidden pressure which actually pulls you down. So those who are feeling that I am not able to speak as much as others, don't compare, and that is how you are not performing the way you could. Capability must be this, and you are performing little low. This is a problem. You have performed much better than this. Today maybe network issue was there. Yes, traveling. The previous topic was tourism. Traveling has got a lot of dimensions actually. You leave your village or town or district, and you come out. You learn a lot. There are many things. If you don't move out of your small place, even you see primary school and thereafter you go to higher schools and then college, you start learning more and more. Exposure. Exposure is very important. So similar thing is you travel far, you learn more, you get to know many things which increases your horizon. Even in the historical records, you see some travelers that time when there was no transport, no maps. Probably people were discovering they were leaving their homes as if they will not return. Such was the traveling pattern those days. For example, Vasco da Gama left his home. Nobody knew when he will come back, whether he will come back or not. And he hit the country, discovered India, or Columbus discovered US. So all those things. Today traveling is much funny, easy, convenient. So traveling has got advantages of maturity, exposure, knowledge gaining, and fun part. Life has to be lived to the fullest. And if you travel, will contribute to that factor of living to the fullest. So you can give angles to your topics. You can speak from many dimensions. Okay, good. Anyone else wants to speak? No? So we will just wind up by summarizing things. Today we had good topics, good participation. We must understand the importance of communication. You all are aspiring to become something. Throughout your life, you will require better communication skills, better personality. So, for that, knowledge is very important. You need to gain knowledge. And knowledge gaining is a process. It will not happen that you read a book and you got everything. Till we die, we are learning. So, more and more we speak, express, organize our thoughts, our knowledge will get better organized in mind also. And our expressing ability will always keep on improving. This is the importance of this small exercise. You speak for 3 minutes, but you are getting prepared for a better personality of tomorrow. So keep participating, bring different topics every time, or come to a stage where you pick up a card and then speak. So maybe after speaking on 30 odd topics, you will get a card, you will be ready to speak because you have spoken for many variety of topics. So that kind of level you must get as soon as possible. Okay, we will end here. Have a good time. Bye. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.